smile and let you know I'm a real person behind this this blue mask that I'm going to be wearing while we tour here. But we are going to check out as much of the campus as we possibly can. This is live, like I mentioned, so this is not pre-recorded. If I trip, you're going to see me fall. You know, that's happened before. Hopefully it won't happen again, but it's a potential when we do these live things, especially with some of the stairs we're going to be doing. However, because it's live, you guys can chat on YouTube chat and we can post it on the screen. So let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what programs you're interested in. We have over 90 full-time programs. I would love to show you spaces for all 90 of them. However, you guys would be here for like 3 hours and nobody wants to watch me or listen to me talk for 3 hours straight. It's pretty lame. But maybe if you have a certain interest in an area or if you're looking at a certain program, let me know and I'll take you to those spaces as best as we can here. And then at some point in the future, hopefully we'll have you back on campus for an in-person tour because we were doing a ton of those right before the province kind of shut down again. But with YouTube and some of the streaming capabilities we have here, you know, this is just as good in some cases. So some housekeeping rules. I'm going to be moving across a very large building. We have lots of access points. So my phone, the thing that I'm streaming from right now, is going to lose connection and I'm going to rejoin. But you're going to see me blip out. You're going to see me jitter. You might see me pixelate. You might see the stream drop off completely. It's happened about 1,000 times before, but I always come back. We got it fixed. So if you see me drop off, it's not over. I'm going to say goodbye at the end. You're going to know when we're at the end here. So if you're sticking around for the whole thing and all of a sudden I'm gone or all of a sudden I've pixelated out, my screen's frozen, it's on some kind of funny looking face, that happens as I move between buildings and go between all these different access points. So just fair warning that that's going to happen and stay tight. We'll let you know in chat that I'll be back in a second too. Ask me questions. Ask me anything you like. My job as an enrollment advisor is to make sure that you have the information you need to make the best decision that you can. Hopefully that decision is to attend Lambton College. Some people viewing this right now might already be planning on attending here or are currently attending here, which is awesome. Let me know kind of what stage you're at, where you're at, what you're thinking, what programs you're interested in. And that's what I'm here for, is to chat with you about this kind of stuff, help you learn about our programs, our services, our school, be a point person when you have questions. And you can use me here, you can text me, you can email me, all that kind of good stuff. We'll give you that information as we start touring about here. Okay, so like I mentioned, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you just want to say hello, put it in chat. We'll throw it up on the screen. I'll be able to read it. We'll have a good time. Anyways, okay, so it is Tuesday. January 4th at 2:05. It is live. I can show you on maybe if I show you on my watch, prove it to you that we're live. It's not a nice watch. But just so you know, this is not pre-recorded. So if you see me trip, if you see me fall, that's a very real thing that could happen. Right now, I'm in our Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center, new health wing. This is one of our newest buildings. We have well over probably $60 million of new buildings on campus right now. That are within, you know, a 3-minute walk from where I'm currently standing. So if anybody watching this has toured the school, let's say 2.5 years ago, and you were to come through today, you wouldn't even recognize most of it because we have so many new spaces, which is awesome. And a lot of it is really, really cool and really, really fun to learn inside of. So we're going to go see those in a minute. Right now, I'm just walking past our massage therapy clinic. Right over here are one of our new active learning studio classrooms. So let's take a quick look in here, because this is kind of more of a standard classroom, but if it has some kind of, oh, here we go. Okay, we're good. If you're in any program that has some kind of like theory piece to it, which I think every single program does that we offer, you're going to find yourself in classrooms like this, and they're pretty neat. I mean, it's a big room with chairs and tables and all that kind of stuff, but we can convert these rooms into all sorts of different modes. We can go into group mode by pushing together tables and they collaborate together in really cool ways. Or we can say, okay, everybody sitting in an orange chair, you're group one, everybody sitting in a blue chair, you're group two. And that eliminates that, like, okay, pick a partner type feeling when you have to do some group work, which is going to be a part of a lot of programs. So this makes it easier to have these color coordinated chairs. They're also super comfy and they spin. So me, someone who can't stop moving and has to constantly keep my mind occupied through classes, you can do that in these chairs. You can swivel about and you know, do your thing and concentrate however you find it easiest to concentrate. This entire wall is a whiteboard. We can get really intuitive with our lessons. It's outfitted with 2 massive projectors, and it's also one of our high flex rooms. So there's cameras and microphones all over. So in the scenario where we're offering a course in person and online at the exact same time, this is one of those rooms where we can do that, which is pretty cool to see in action. So what looks like a normal classroom can actually be a pretty cool experience. And you're going to see that same story as we start exploring some other spaces here. Okay. Oh, cool. Sadie, I would like to see police foundations area. Sweet. We can do that. Police foundations, actually, one of the spaces is where we just were, one of those classrooms. And I will make a point to talk about police foundations as we start exploring some other areas here. Let me fix my hair. There we go. Looks way better, doesn't it? Kidding. Okay. So we're going to go into the occupational therapy assistant lab, physiotherapy assistant lab space. Once I find some lights. There's one light. Okay, so this is our OPTA lab. If anybody in here is looking at occupational therapy assistant, physiotherapy assistant, this is going to be your home for 2 years and a couple other spaces on campus, but this is definitely where you're going to spend the bulk of your practical classes and your practical learning, because this is an occupational therapy clinic and a physiotherapy clinic. You can see all around me, we have beds in semi-private rooms and these special slate beds where we can actually have almost 2 people on there. I think they hold like 700 pounds. So when we have a patient, our therapist assistant, physiotherapy assistant, occupational therapy assistant can actually maneuver them, use their weight on that bed space, move them around and really leverage themselves to help that patient get the best therapy that they can. More of these semi-private spaces here with the fully functional clinic. We actually teamed up with occupational therapists and physiotherapists from Blue Water Health, our local hospital network. They came in and designed their dream lab space, and we built it. So this is built from OTs and PTs. You can see lots of equipment as we tour around here. This band wall. We also have an ice bath. I think it's in storage right now. That's an important part of physiotherapy. Occupational therapy is like ice treatment, that kind of stuff. So we have that. But the details in here are what really make it unique, even right down to these racks. These racks definitely aren't anything that jump out at you when you walk into the room. However, these are the exact same rack systems that are used in Blue Water Health, their local hospital network, in their OT clinic and PT clinic. So when you graduate and you gain employment, guess what? You're used to where everything is, how it all operates, because we've teamed up with those OTs and PTs to give you that exact same experience, albeit at a larger scale here, because our lab space is a lot newer and a lot nicer. But it has those details that really make it that inclusive experience. Okay. So there we are. I just jittered a little bit. You probably saw that, moving between different access points around the college here. It's going to happen a lot, especially when I start walking through the middle of the school. So fair warning that we might lose connection, but hang tight. Please hang tight, because I will be back. We're not going anywhere. I'm not ending the stream, not pausing the stream. Just letting you know that if I lose connection, we will be back. Okay, so just going upstairs, second floor of the Nova Chemicals Health and Research Center. Right down here, you're going to see there's a lot of student seating. There's seating down here, lots of benches, tables, chairs, all that kind of good stuff. You're going to see a lot of that in this building. This is also our pharmacy technician lab, our retail pharmacy lab. It looks just like a retail pharmacy. Prescription pickup and drop off. I said that opposite. Anyways, you can't buy the actual medicine here, but this is for our pharmacy technician students to get that retail pharmacy experience. However, there's a lot more to it than that. Okay. So right here, we have our gym. The lights are off right now, which isn't, we'll get a better look in the fitness center. But this is one of the largest gymnasiums in Ontario. We're really proud to have it. It's open for recreation hours. There's lots of seating that overlooks the gym space. So if you want to do some homework and watch a game or something like that, or just have, a cooler view than staring at a wall or a table, that's a great spot to hang out. Okay, is anybody in here thinking about nursing? Let me know in the chat, please, because we are in a great spot to talk about that. Cool. Okay, right here though, actually, we should be able to go in there. One thing I want to note, classes haven't started yet for January. The campus is very empty because of that, but we're going to use that to our advantage. So you're not going to see a lot of action today because classes aren't operating. They start January 10th, but just want you to know that the campus is normally a lot more lively. Normally we can't get into all these lab spaces because there's classes going on. However, because this week they haven't started back up, we are able to. Okay, so this is the hospital pharmacy. The other side, we saw the retail with our medicine lockup area on the retail side. Then we also have a medicine and equipment lockup area on the hospital side. This is set up to operate and function just like a hospital pharmacy. You can even see our med pack machine here. where we learn how to distribute and pack different medicines to distribute across a hospital. You can see we have medicine carts. These are very important for what we're going to talk about in a second. This ante room is where you get completely sterile. People will don those like gowns and gloves and head coverings and face masks and all that kind of stuff, so they can come into the clean room, or our, what is it actually called? Yeah, clean room, where they can prepare intravenous medicines like IV bags, those types of things in these fume hoods, which are completely sterile environments. We could practice that exact same scenario where our pharmacy technicians working in a hospital pharmacy have to become completely sterile themselves in order to make sterile medicines in these fume hoods. These are also outfitted with cameras, so our professors can see your hands, see what you're doing when it comes to that preparation. Hospital pharmacy is the name of the game. One thing we're going to rip through here. If you're looking at Pharm Tech, oh, we got a question. I would like to see the social service worker area at some point, if that's all right. Yeah, totally. So social service worker is a lot of theory. So you're going to spend your time in a lot of classrooms, kind of more standard classrooms, and you get that practical experience from your placement. So that's off campus. That's at places like Children's Aid Society, the Women's Interval Home, school boards, all these different places where you can conduct your placement. That's where you're going to get that hands-on practical experience. You do almost 800 hours, if not over 800 hours in the program. So a huge chunk of your 2-year study is spent in the workforce. And then the rest of it on campus is in various classrooms. So we'll see those for sure. And social service worker is an awesome program here. I'm really stoked to see that you're looking at that. Same with police foundations for those that have shared their interest so far. Okay, compounding room. This is where we make different types of medicines. You know, if you have let's say a child and they have to take a pill, they're prescribed a pill, but maybe that child can't swallow a pill. Maybe they're not comfortable doing so. Our pharmacy technicians can compound that medicine into something else, like a lozenge or a drink, something along those lines. Okie dokie, pharmacy tech lab, right across from the hospital. Here we are at the hospital, gonna head in here. All right. So this is something we're extremely proud to have. This is our simulation hospital, by far one of the best, largest, most technologically advanced simulation hospital teaching spaces in the entire province. If you are looking at nursing with us, any program that operates inside of a hospital space, personal support worker, paramedic, you are looking at one of the nicest lab spaces that you can possibly find in the entire province here at Lambton College. Very proud to have it. 42 beds in total. So this is one bay. We have 3 bays just like this. 12 beds, I think it is, 6 on each side. Semi-private rooms, hill ROM, fully functioning hospital beds. All of the equipment inside the simulation hospital, including the beds, including these headboards, are the exact same layout that you're going to find at Blue Water Health or local hospital network. So when you complete your placement, your consolidation, and you gain employment afterwards, you are used to using the equipment. Even our storage room is set up the exact same way as Blue Water Health. We have our front desk here, kind of our emergency room area. These computers have the same charting system as Blue Water Health. Rooms. I want to point out these human simulated mannequins. Oh, there we are. We're back. These human simulated mannequins are really cool. This guy's got some kind of trachea attachment there. Hope my camera's being really weird. These are about $80,000 a piece. They are human simulated mannequins. They do everything but get up and walk around. You can inject them, you can pull their blood, you can give them medicine. We can do all sorts of different things to them. We can install different modules. We could put like a cardiac arrest module in them. We can change their gender. We can change their ailment, whatever it might be. They're completely adaptable. They talk to us. They blink. They breathe. You can check their pulse, their heart rate, all that kind of cool stuff. You can make mistakes on them. As a nursing student, you have a human simulated robot, essentially, that is almost the exact same thing as a human, except they don't get up and walk around, and you can make mistakes on them, and they just reboot after. You see some kind of something there. That's not real, obviously. That's made out of rubber. But you know, these mannequins get really cool when it comes to installing different modules on them, like a throat cancer module, all sorts of different things. We have a clean linen room. I mean, not the most exciting space to show on a tour. Oh, there we go. But really important when you think about the operation of a hospital, We have to have clean linens. We have to have a place to put soiled, unsanitized, dirty linens. We have that same setup just like a real hospital. Surgical wash sink, do surgery prep in our perioperative program. Another bay of beds, human simulated mannequins outfitted in most of the beds here, Hill-Rom beds across the board, headboards at each and every single bed. And then we have our 2 ICU units. This is something that makes this lab space very unique. We have 2 of them. One is outfitted with a female, the other is outfitted with a male. These are extra high fidelity human mannequins, so these are about $140,000 a piece. They are a little bit more lifelike. They talk a lot more. They are a lot more human-like, and we can install even more modules. They're downright creepy in some regards, but when you think about learning, I want to make sure I'm making my mistakes on a human simulate rather than a human that might sue me after. ICU headboards, ICU beds. We have mobile oxygen and vacuum units that we can move around to pull vacuum to give oxygen. We have, different medicine distribution, probably a special name for that. Anyways, point being, exact same stuff you're going to find in the hospital. This is our step down area for when someone comes out of the ICU unit. We can get them ready to go back into general medicine or wherever else they might be heading. This is the second ICU unit with a male inside of it. And then this is the monitoring station. So you can see here, hopefully it's showing you, cameras, microphones, computers, tablets. This is how we talk to the people inside of the here, I'll show you that maybe. I don't know what you can see on camera or not. Quite frankly, I couldn't see the screen there. But when you're inside of these ICU units and you're doing your practical assessments, let's say you're doing some test on, checking someone's pulse, just making stuff up. You can be in here, you're doing your thing, you're alone, you're working on your human simulated mannequin there. But our teachers and professors can hear you through the microphone. Where is it? There's one of the drop mics. They can see you through the cameras that are right up there. And that way you don't have the pressure of someone sitting over your shoulder as you're doing some assignment or a test. I don't know if anybody in here who's watching this has their license, their G2 or G, but you probably remember when you had to get that license, you had that person sitting next to you and they were writing stuff down as you drove around, and it was stressful as heck. Not like that here. We take that pressure off you. Cool, new question. Caden, is pre-service firefighter education training on campus or off campus? It is very much off campus for a good reason. So Caden, we won't be seeing the fire school today because it's about 15 kilometers away. But that's because we are home to the largest live field fire training facility in the entire country. If you're looking at pre-service firefighter with us, you are quite literally talking to the biggest school in all of Canada right now. We have the biggest facility. We have the most amount of hands-on training. We have the only advanced diploma in fire sciences technology that you can take in the province. Firefighting is one of the things that we do best. We do a lot of programs very well. We're a small school. We're very agile. The programs that we offer are very, very unique when compared to other schools with a lot more programs than we have and a lot more students. But when it comes to firefighting, it's a completely different conversation because we have the fire school, which is 15 kilometers that way. Anyways, that doesn't do you any good. But stay tuned. I'm really glad that you joined today because that means that you're on our communication track somewhere because you found out about this somehow. Stay tuned because we will be going out to the fire school at some point in the near future, maybe next week, maybe 2 weeks from now. I don't know. We're trying to find a date in the near future. This month, though. This month, one of these Tuesdays, either next Tuesday, the Tuesday after, or the Tuesday after that, we will be out at the fire school doing the same thing. So stay tuned, Caden. It's quite the sight to see. It's the largest in the entire province, and it's pretty wicked. What about early childhood education? Where would that be? Libby, I don't know if I can get in here. It lights green, but it doesn't let me in. Okay, we're going to go look out this window. Libby. So I don't know what you can see. Justine, maybe help me out. Can you see the north building? Okay, how about now? Okay, so Justine's running the production side of this. She's on the other end of my microphone, but you guys should be able to see a brown building outside that window right above that orange Kubota. That's the north building. That's where early childhood education and child and youth care programs have some of their classes. That's also home to Sarnia's Early Years Ontario Drop-In Center, which is right on campus here. So for early childhood education, I can't think of a better place to learn than inside of an Ontario Early Years Drop-In Centre that's funded through the Ontario Early Years funding program, that you can complete your placement in, learn alongside with the children of. But that takes place in that brown building. I think we should see it again over here. Yeah, a little bit of a closer view, not too much, but that building right over there, that's where early childhood education takes place. We won't be seeing that today. Today we're doing the main campus, but to give you an idea, right over there, Progressive Auto Sales Arena right beside us, that's where the Sarnia Sting play. So if you like hockey and maybe you're staying in residence with us, you got a Sting, an OHL arena right on campus that you can go see Sting games at. You know, if you want to go see a Sting game, it doesn't need to be more complicated than that. But they're also an amazing partner for us, where our sports and rec management students are on the ice with the Sarnia Sting every time there's a home game. Our paramedic students complete part of their placement inside the arena during games. They have paramedics on hand. Those are our students. If you've seen a Sarnia Sting game at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena, you have seen our students on the ice. They're an amazing partner for us. We also use their facility for mass casualty simulations for a paramedic program. And speaking of which, we're in a pretty different spot here. I walk through that door and I'm in someone's home. This isn't someone's home. I don't live here. No one lives here, but it looks like someone does. Kitchen stuff, sinks, stoves, cupboards. Fun fact, those cupboards are whiteboards. Whoa, crazy, right? We're in a living room here. Yeah, I think you guys are getting the point. I'm not going to beat this thing down any further, but we do have everything you need for living and learning and loving. Okay, then we have a separate apartment layout over here. Bedroom, kitchen, and bathroom. So the story I'm getting at here, though, is we have two different apartments, two different layouts that we use for personal support worker. You can see on the screen right now, it says PSWK. So in-home care, in-home living, living assist, occupational therapy assistant, physiotherapy assistant, in-home care. We can practice inside of someone's real simulation house in these two apartments. We also use it for paramedic, where we can run rescue missions out of here in two different layouts of apartments. Maybe our paramedic students are doing their learning and then they get a 911 call because somebody's passed out in the bathroom. They hit their head they fell, they slipped, they hit their head on the bathtub and they have to go to the hospital. Our paramedics can respond to that actual call in an actual living space and go through the exact same motions as if that was something that happened. For police foundations, I know that we had somebody looking at police foundations that talked about it a little bit earlier. We can set up these apartments for forensic investigation, which is a huge part of our program. So we might have maybe some kind of an assault that took place, or maybe somebody died. We can run that exact type of scenario here where we could have, like, maybe the weapon was found on the table and there's drugs or alcohol or something like that. Or maybe, there's pieces of evidence scattered throughout this apartment and you're the first responding investigator that's coming in and you have to investigate what happened. And you have to mark off all the pieces of evidence with those little yellow cards that you see on CSI. You know what I'm talking about. But we can use this apartment for any type of in-home learning experience. So personal support worker, in-home care. In fact, these spaces are outfitted with living assist devices, like this lift assist device that helps people get in and out of their bed. And you can see a track up on the ceiling there to help them get in and out of bed. For paramedic rescue missions, for police foundations, forensic investigation, for occupational therapy, physiotherapy assistant, in-home care and assessments. And when you are doing those assignments, just like that ICU unit, drop mics, cameras. There's probably one up there. Yep. Oh, wrong way. Camera. And then the monitoring room. I was not pointing anywhere close to that camera, but you guys probably saw it. And then once again, similar to the ICU unit, we got the cameras, the microphones, monitoring station. So once again, the professor isn't hovering over your shoulder when you're doing your practical assessment or you're doing your forensic investigation. You're doing your thing. You got your space. They're watching you through the cameras, talking to you through the microphones, listening to you with their their headset, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so paramedic. I don't know if anybody's looking at paramedic programs in the province. It's by far one of our biggest programs. There we go. We're back. By far one of our biggest programs. Big open space. Paramedics need a lot of space. That ambulance does work. Lights will turn on if we turn them on. Doesn't obviously drive anywhere, it's missing the front of it. But when it comes to ambulatory care and practicing inside and outside of an ambulance, we have one on campus that was on the road that operates just like it did when it was saving people. Storage back here, you can see lots of gurneys, mannequins, lots of equipment, trauma response, all sorts of different types of equipment that we can take to different calls. Let's say, you know that, I don't know, you got blood pressure cuffs in this, symptom relief, trauma, these different kit bags for different types of responses and calls that we can adjust to. Got the ambulance here. Works. Anyways, we can operate a fully functioning ambulance, but if you put this together with all the spaces that we've seen so far, we have the hospital, we have the pharmacy, we have the apartments, we have an ambulance, and it's all located right here. So you can see there's lots of space around us, but all of these simulation lab spaces come to a head at this specific spot for a reason. We can run a scenario where, let's say, a personal support worker is inside of an apartment and they get a 911, or they find their client collapsed in the bathroom. Maybe that person had a heart attack, maybe they hit their head, maybe they slipped and fell. They don't know what happened, but they know they have to go to the hospital. So they call 911. Our paramedics get that call. They go into the apartment, just where we were. They rescue that patient. They bring that patient to their ambulance, which of course is right down the hall from them. The camera would point at it. Maybe they have to keep that person alive for 45 minutes, half an hour, 20 minutes, 2 hours, however far away from the hospital that they are. Then they get to the hospital, they bring them into our emergency room. Our nurses take that patient into their care, and then the nurses put the call into our hospital pharmacy technicians to prepare medicine for that patient that was just dropped off. So just like a functioning hospital, nurses are going to have patients dropped at their feet. Paramedics are going to have to go get people from all sorts of different scenarios. Personal support workers might find that they're in a different scenario each day where their client is at a different level. Maybe they have to go to the hospital, don't know what they're going to run into. But we can run those full hospital-like simulations between all these different programs, which is a lot of fun. This mask is driving me nuts right now. Okay, last thing I want to point out in this building are these breakout rooms, because these are pretty sweet. I mean, it's a meeting room. Nice big TV, big sound bar, whiteboard. These are open for students whenever you want. You just saw me walk right in here. There's 3 of them right behind me. There's another one under the stair set where we started. There's another one down the hall where we saw the OPTA lab. If you want a place to claim for the day, if you want to throw your books across the table, if you want to practice group work in a private setting where you're not disturbing people around you and you can stumble through your presentation, these breakout rooms are where you can do that. There's a bunch of them in this building. If it's empty, claim it. If staff and faculty have it booked, they're going to let you know and just ask you to find somewhere else to study for the next hour or so. Okay, that's the entire Nova Chemicals Health and Research building. We are well on our way at this point. We're going to go check out the fitness center. And where will we go after that? We'll go to the cafeteria maybe. We got another fitness center to see in that time. We'll talk about that, especially Caden for pre-service. That's really important to know about. And then maybe we'll see some technology stuff. Cool. Any questions? Let me know, guys. We're just hanging out. This is live. You just... We should be back. Okay. So for anybody that's just joined, this is a great time to talk about it. First of all, welcome. This is live. I am currently live at 2:31 Tuesday. We're at our main campus in Sarnia. I'm an enrollment advisor at Lambton College. My job is to help you learn about what we're about, where we are, all that kind of good stuff. See a nice big logo behind us. Where was I going with that? Oh my gosh. Oh, I might lose connection because that just happened. So if I lose connection as I move between buildings in this massive space that we're going to explore today, it's going to blip out. It's going to pixelate. I might drop completely. Stay tuned. I will be back. I'm just moving between different access points across the college. But we are going to go check out the fitness center, which all students have access to. So if you like working out, or if you want to start working out and you're a student at Lambton, you have access to one of the nicest fitness facilities in the city. Okay. So normally you'd enter through the ground floor, but for tours, we come in through the back door because it's a lot quicker. All right, massive space here. This is all custom made for us too. You're gonna find our logo on everything. Very high-end equipment. This is our weight room, our weight area. You can see dumbbells and all sorts of different lift things that I don't know much about. If you can see my reflection in any windows, you'll understand what I'm talking about. We got weight machines over here. We got circuit training machines, circuit training areas, I should say. We got cardio, recumbent bikes, Stairmasters, all sorts of different things that overlook the gymnasium. Speaking of which, we'll try and give you a better view of the gym. Don't know how much of it you can see in there with the lights off, but that's one of the largest gym spaces in the entire province. Our basketball team is super competitive. We have a 208-inch LED Jumbotron right over there. We have a broadcast booth we're going to walk by in a second. We seat about 1,200 people right around there. So when we have a basketball game going on, it's like a miniature NBA game. Tons of fun. And the gym, the fitness center, overlooks the gym. So if you want to work out, do your thing and watch a game if you want. All right. Some treadmills, some cardio machines over here. These treadmills are very, very high end. They're banded, they're not treaded. So if you look, you can see they got thick rubber bands on them. They're really comfortable. Thin rubber treads don't feel that great on your feet and your joints and all that kind of good stuff, but these thick rubber bands do. They're about $15,000 a piece. They have TV, all that kind of good stuff, so you can work out and watch a show if you want. Overlooks the courtyard. Then we have our personal training studio, which is open all the time. Come in here anytime that you want. Private space to work out. Nice big open space with windows, nice view, all that kind of good stuff. Spin bikes, TRX band wall behind me. There's also a computer built into the wall over here where you can choose a virtual trainer or a virtual workout. Let's say you want to do a spin class and it is 7 o'clock on a Saturday or Friday, whatever day, doesn't matter. But there's no spin classes organized that day, but you're like, I want to do a spin class. I'm doing a spin class. So you go over to the computer, you choose your spin class, you choose the duration, you choose the intensity, you hop on a bike, and then the trainer pops up on the TV just like you hired somebody for the next hour. All the TVs on campus have Chromecast and AirPlay. So if you just want to put on some Netflix while you're working out, if you want to listen to some music, you know, you can drop some music to the TV. You can put some TV up on there. Same with those breakout rooms we checked out. You can Chromecast or AirPlay anything you want to those TVs. So let's say, I don't know, you got like a 5-hour break between classes and you want to go watch some TV, hop in a breakout room. You know, some students might give you a stink eye because they might want to use that space to study, but use at your own risk. All right, so we're gonna exit the fitness center here. Cool, cool. So we won't see a good view of it, but right beneath me right now is our second gym, which we use for program-specific training. So police foundations, protection, security, investigation, we have a giant gym space that we can use for those programs specifically. Once again, okay. We moved there. So that is hopping between those access points like I talked about. They locked it with the actual lock this time. Okay, so this is our second fitness studio, which we use for program-specific training. So if I cup this, you might be able to see in there. Pretty standard fitness stuff. I mean, you got workout, different types of machines for cardio and circuit training and all that kind of good stuff like we saw before. There's also some pretty specific machinery in there, like Jacob's Ladder and this sledge. It's called Extreme Monkey. I don't really know what that means, but that must be the brand, Extreme Monkey. I don't know if you saw that. But we use that for our pre-service firefighter education and training program. They have to push that across the turf area that we have here as part of one of their exercises, and our team, which if you're into firefighting, you might know what the Scott Firefit Challenge is. We are world champions and world record holders in multiple different areas of the Scott Firefit Challenge. We are extremely competitive. We have some of the top teams in the entire country and the entire world for Scott Firefit Challenge. They do a lot of their training out of that fitness center, and some of that equipment is specific to the Scott Firefit Challenge. But we use it for any program-specific fitness classes that we have. Okay. Bit of a walk. Okay. This is a great time to ask questions because we're going on a bit of a hike here. Buttery Ninja. Going the welding areas. Yeah, I'm gonna try. We're going to try and get in there. My key doesn't open the welding area, but we'll try our hardest to get in there. I'll show you where it is though, and I'll talk about it. We got multiple welding spaces. We have one welding lab in this campus. We have 2 more welding labs in our other skilled trades training center. We won't be seeing the skilled trades training center, but they're all pretty similar. So hopefully, worst case, I'll tell you about it and show you where it is. But welding techniques is a cool program. That's coming up in a little bit. That's probably going to be in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay. One thing I definitely want to stop off and point out real quick is our Enactus Trophy, who have the goal of making the world a better place. To sum it up in a very well-rounded, well, not very well, but a well-rounded way to explain what they do. Ultimately, it's a group of students who get together and use entrepreneurial spirit, which really means long-lasting, sustainable change. You could think about giving, let's say you got a community in need. They're undereducated. This community has very little money, very little education, very little access to resources that could help them in those 2 areas. And you got 2 options. You can give that community a bunch of money. Let's say you do some fundraising. You do 500 car washes and 200 bake sales, and you come up with $50,000. You can give them $50,000. Or you could work with that community to build a training program in their own backyard that could give them the education to get jobs that could properly improve their economy and give them long-lasting, sustainable change through that training program. Enactus would focus on setting up that training program as opposed to fundraising. That's what it's all about. It stands for Entrepreneurs in Action for Us All. It's a group that stretches across hundreds of institutions across North America and across the world. We are world champions in 2018, runner-up world champions in 2019, national champions in 2020. We just were runner-up to national champions this last year, so extremely proud about that. Some of the schools that compete in Enactus are Harvard, Yale, Laurier, Western. Some of the biggest schools you can think about have Enactus teams with way more students, way more budget than we do, but we still crush them each and every time. So we do different projects in all sorts of different areas, but point being, it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to put stuff on your resume. It's a great way to network, all sorts of different programs, and you have the opportunity to potentially travel the world in the competition. And okay, should be back now. Sadie. Okay, good question, Sadie. So we won't be seeing that today. 2 Tuesdays after that. Oh, make sure I got, yeah, want to make sure I got, for internet, that is. Okay. I think I'm okay. Check one, two. Okay, good stuff. So the area I'm about to walk through is notorious for dropping connection. So I'm going to try and answer your question here, Sadie. So we won't be seeing the residence today. That is located like a parking lot across from where we were in the like health building. It's not far. It's about a 3-minute walk from the front doors of the college. Very, very close. It's on campus. We will be showing residents at some point this month or early next month on one of these Tuesdays at 2. I'm glad that you're here because that means you're on our communication track, just like everybody who's watching this is. We will let you know when we're going to go to our residence in the same way. But it's going to be either next Tuesday at 2 or not the Tuesday after that, but the last Tuesday of the month at 2 or early next month. We're going to go see it soon. We won't be seeing it today, but they're 3 minutes that way. It is directly across the parking lot from the school. Very close. Okay, hopefully the internet stays good enough to show our chemistry labs. I should be coming back. So we have 2 brand new chem labs. If you are, there we go. If you're thinking about getting into a program like chemical lab technologist, maybe you want to do research and development for a big company or a food company, or you want to do quality assurance, that's a great program to look at where you might be the lab technologist in charge of making sure every single bottle of ketchup tastes the same. Random example, but those are technologists that do that kind of stuff. We have a program all about that called Chemical Lab Technology. This is one of those lab spaces where you might be learning. This is also used in chemical production, power engineering technology. I think nursing students might use this at some point. Don't quote me on that. But these labs are brand new. They look like CSI. CSI is such an old reference. I really like nobody watches that anymore. I feel like maybe your parents do. I don't know. I gotta stop making that reference. What's somewhere else that looks like a chemical lab? I have no idea. Okay, we're going down to the cafeteria, the upper caf. Once again, classes haven't started. The campus is very low energy right now. Normally there's a lot more people here. Come next September when things are back to normal, hopefully they are, fingers crossed, all that kind of good stuff. This place is hard to navigate sometimes. There's so many students here, but I'm really glad that we can show you most of this stuff without much of a hindrance. Tim Hortons, meal cards work here. Nourish, they do like stir fries and sandwiches and that kind of stuff. Meal cards work there. This is not the main cafeteria. This is just mostly seating. And obviously I can't get in that way. We're gonna go try and see the Student Administrative Council. Right? I'm good. All right. So we're going to the Student Administrative, the office door. Normally you would enter through the doors right here, but since classes aren't in action, there's nobody here. That door's locked at the moment. The Student Administrative Council is a third entity to the school, but a really, really important spot. They are your student union, your student representatives. Stumbling over my words there. So they're there to support you, make sure you know what your rights are as a student. You have a collective to work with and help you navigate the different areas of the college that you might need help with. They also host your student health plan. So if you have a student, well, every student that applies is automatically enrolled. If you don't opt out of your student health plan, it's through this office here. They also sell lockers. You can pick up a locker there. They also have positions you can run for. Student president, student council person, treasurer, all these different positions are available in that office. You want to have your own office on campus with your name on the door, run for student president. Looks really good, pays well, looks fantastic on a resume actually. But we need a student to run for student president. Could be you. Get your own office with your name on the door and help students be the best that they can be. It's also a lounge, place to hang out, chairs, tables, desks. And then we have our gaming arena. Esports is massive at Lambton. If you play any competitive video games, not only do we have a place for you to just go play, these computers are just shy of $10,000 a piece. They play any game you want, max settings. We have 1 gigabit internet running to each and every one. We have varsity esports, just like basketball and soccer. We have varsity esports where you compete for our school across North America in games like Valorant, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone. You have to try out, you have to maintain grades, you have to go to class. You might get sent all sorts of different places. We've sent esports players as far as Texas to compete in tournaments, Montreal to compete in tournaments, free flights, hotel, food, all that kind of good stuff. So if you play any competitive games, this is where you might be playing. We have 2 arenas on campus for varsity players. This one's open for public, as well as students who just want to play some games in between classes. And then we have another one downstairs. This is Tony. Hello. Tony's the esports coordinator here for the varsity side and the arena itself. So if you want to try out, that's the guy you're going to want to talk to. He can hook you up with all that kind of good stuff. And let me know if you want to try out for any of our esports teams. We are currently setting people up with those tryouts right now. We can get you hooked up through Tony there. Okay. And if you just want to play some games in between class, you can do that too. Okay, we're going to go check out the Lions Den High School Pub. And then we'll see the cafeteria. We'll see some technology stuff or research stuff. I don't know why I'm talking like that. And then go see the apprenticeship wing. And then we'll make our way back. Okay, Lions Den School Pub. It's a bar on campus. I don't need to go into much more detail than that. We have a bar on campus. Come hang out at the bar. Any people or any student can come here, whether you're of drinking age or not. Obviously, they're not going to serve you alcohol if you're under drinking age, but you can still come hang out here. You can listen to music. You can play the games. They got arcade games. They got foosball. They got pool, all that kind of good stuff. We do different events here on the last Thursday of every month, like bands, hypnotists, DJs, all sorts of different things. You have access to our courtyard right there. So if you want to go sit outside or have a drink outside in spring or in summer, you can do that too. If you are of drinking age, you can come hang out here and we'll serve alcohol. Your meal card will not work here. This is the one spot on campus your meal card won't work that serves food. That and Capstone's Restaurant, which is our fine dining restaurant on campus ran by our culinary management students. But if you think about it, I'm sure you can imagine why meal cards don't work at the school pub. We want you to spend money on food, not drinks. It makes sense if you think about it. Okay, so that's our school pub. It's right below us right now. Some things are locked up. Hey, Dan. So that's why we're going backtracking up to the cafeteria. Okay. We're back in the upper caf here. Mostly seating in this area. We're going to head down to the main caf now. Then we're going to go see the Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technologies, our new tech wing. And then we'll check out some apprenticeship stuff. Actually, we will see apprenticeship first. Not apprenticeship, sorry, I shouldn't say apprenticeship. Pre-apprenticeship areas. Pre-apprenticeship, very important distinction. Okay. Marketplace Cafe. This is your main cafeteria. The Lion's Den, where we just were, the school pub, you can access right down there. My gosh, this camera work and I need to get better with each other. Where's my finger? There it is. Okay, we have the camera reversed, so it's really hard for, like, my brain just isn't putting together my left and my right because the camera's reversed for you guys, so the letters are like the right way around. Point being, it's hard for my brain to understand at the moment. Marketplace Cafe, though, this is your main cafeteria. That's where 95% of your meals are going to come from if you're staying in residence. They have burgers at the Grill & Co. Bistro. They do like pub grub burgers, chicken sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches, fries, poutine, all that kind of good stuff. We do different daily specials on the left-hand side. There's a pizza. There's another Tim Hortons in there. There's a salad bar, a soup bar, ready-made sandwiches and salads. They got pretty well everything. That's the main eating spot on campus, and they have a great solution. Okay. So we are heading towards our pre-apprenticeship kind of wing of this campus. I should be back. Hello. Okay, that's another spot that's really bad. I'm glad we didn't drop completely. Good stuff. Okay, bookstore. Right here, this is our campus shop. You can see right away sweaters, t-shirts, uniforms, hats, Lambton swag, all through there. Their prices are fantastic. The clothing is really, I buy honestly their clothing all the time because it's really comfortable, really, really good prices. And they love representing the school. So you can do that if you want to do that too, right here on campus. You can also go to their website. I honestly just Google it, Lambton College Campus Shop. It'll be the first link. You can order stuff right online. You can pick it up in person by coming here. I think they do curbside sometimes. Don't quote me on that, but they may be doing that as well. But textbooks, this is the main reason why you might come down here, is for your textbooks at the beginning of the semester or at some point during your studies. That's where you can purchase all of the textbooks for any one of your programs or any program that you're enrolled in from. They have stationery, they have gifts, they have snacks, they have some really good candy options. Their website's fantastic. You can actually pre-order all of your textbooks and come down and just grab them rather than have to pick them up off the shelf individually. You can do that right on their website once you get your schedule, usually in like mid to late August. You can start doing that. So it should be okay in a second. Okay, wow, that was a long one. So I just walked a little bit. We're not far. We're just down the hall, going north, if that means anything to you, down the ground floor of the school here. But we are heading towards our millwright lab space and welding and police foundations. So we can't, my key, once again, doesn't work for a lot of the rooms down here. I don't think they added key card. So unfortunately, I can't get into our criminal justice lab right now. But for the person looking at police foundations, this is another one of our simulation lab spaces. Doesn't do you much to look at a door, but inside that is a room that we can convert from a forensic investigation space to a mock court space. It has a jail cell. It has a garage door. Our police car inside. Okay, we're back. Hello. Cool. Okay, a little bit of a hiccup there once we grab some kind of good connection. Here we go. Okay, we're back now. So yeah, criminal justice lab, mock court, police car, jail cell, convertible room for forensic investigation or court simulations, or a classroom right down there. So we have a pretty massive police foundations foothold on campus between the apartments for forensic investigation and the criminal justice lab. We got pretty well everything right from the crime scene to the courthouse. Really neat to see in action. Okay, this is our millwright mechanical technician lab. On this side, this is the machine shop specifically for millwright mechanical technician. We have our rigging and hoisting units above us with our A-frames and our gantries. These tabletop setups are what we use for aligning different types of pumps and motors and all sorts of different units. Part of a millwright's job is to install, maintain, and repair industry machines. Part of that might be installing an electric motor to a giant pump. We'll see one in a second. But those two things have to be mated perfectly, so we use lasers to do that for us. Those laser units are, I think, $10,000 to $20,000 a piece. We have a whole bunch of them that you learn on. Then over here, we get more to the maintenance side, where we get all sorts of different pumps and turbines that we can take apart. These blue ones, for example, these are about $300,000 a piece. We have a whole fleet of them. When it comes to millwright mechanical technician, there is no other school that has what we do. When it comes to equipment for you to learn on, just look at all this kind of stuff here. This is exactly, if you don't know what a millwright is, you know what an auto mechanic is. They fix cars. We got lots of machinery in industry. We got robots, we got pumps, we got turbines, we got all sorts of different units that allow us to make all the different things that we make in Canada. And we need mechanics for that stuff too. And that's what millwrights do. This is usually unlocked, which it is. Nice. So just going to show this real quick. This is our pneumatics and hydraulics lab for millwright mechanical technicians. So if you, once again, want to get into a very diverse career in mechanical work, working in industry with very high rates of pay and job security, the pneumatics and hydraulics portion of this program is going to stand out to you because that usually leads to a very high rate of pay with very good job security, let alone the trade itself is also very good for that. Okay, we're well on our way. Our machine shop for millwright mechanical technician is right here. But once again, my key does not work to get this in there, but we have a full CNC lathe machine shop where you spend most of your first term in millwright. Ooh, I think we can't get in here today. Hello. Hello. All right. Hopefully my person's still here for welding because, surprise, surprise, the door was open, so we were able to get in. This is our weld shop. You can see there's booth spaces all around us. They're numbered. We got like 6, 7, 12. What does it go up to? 22, I think, in total. We got some more around back. Nice thing with this program, 8 months, 1 academic year, you are going to learn every facet of welding you can imagine that is used in industry. MIG, TIG, arc welding. We use that in industry locally. Even some brazing techniques, oxyacetylene torch work, all that kind of good stuff is done inside this program. And the nice thing with this program is you have your own booth space for the entire term. If you're assigned booth space 7, every single day you come to class, you hop in there, your equipment is where you left it, or shouldn't be left out actually, but you are used to how it works, you're used to the torch, you're used to the machines, because you spend the entire term learning on that same unit. So welding, for the person that was looking at it, this is your spot. This is where our welding techniques program takes place. And once again, all facets of welding that are used mostly in industry, some brazing techniques, MIG, TIG, arc. You also graduate, well, actually towards the end of graduation, you have the opportunity to get your all plate position tickets from CWB, Canadian Welding Board. So that's your standard to get you into many unions like Boilermakers, pipe fitters, that kind of stuff. They're going to look for applicants with that all plate position ticket. And that's something you get inside of our program. So you will graduate, so long as you're successful on the testing itself, you will graduate. All right, we're almost done, guys. To run through our Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technologies. This is a great time to ask questions, Justine, if you have any. We're going on a walk. Okay, how many people are viewing? Wow, okay, we got 10 people. Hi, guys. Maybe it's the same 10 that started. Welcome. Thanks for sticking around. We're going on a bit of a walk now. We're going all the way down there. You can't see it. There's lots of light. Anyways, we're walking quite literally to the opposite end of the school at the moment. Just going by the campus shop, the bookstore where we were a couple minutes ago, maybe 5, 10 minutes ago. Yeah, totally. That's a great idea. So we have application day coming up. That is what date again? The 12th. So January 12th, it's virtual, real easy for you. If you haven't applied yet, and you can hear me, there we go. If you haven't applied yet, we will pay for your application on the 12th. I think it's from 4 to 6, 4 to 5, somewhere around there. It's right on our website, right on our calendar. But if you want to apply, because you saw some lab spaces today that are pretty wicked, and you're like, you know what, I do want to learn inside that hospital. I want to take millwright mechanical technician. That sounds really rewarding, or I like that welding space. I haven't applied yet. Come to application night, and I will cover your $95 application fee. It costs $95 to apply to school. That's the standard cost to apply to an Ontario public college. You get 5 choices in total you're applying to. But there we go. If you are applying to a Lambton program, we will cover that $95 fee for you. So that's January 12th, 4 to 5, I think. It starts at 4, I'm pretty sure. Just you can quote me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it starts at 4. So yeah, if you want to, once again, apply for free. Don't pay it. Don't pay the $95. If you're applying to Lambton, come to application night, chat with us. Let's talk about your program. Let's get an application in for free. It's January 12th. It's well before the February 1st deadline too. So you got lots of time to apply, get your information in for that. Okay. This spot's really bad. Okay. We made it. We didn't drop. I always drop there. Good stuff. Okay, we're in the Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technologies. We got our capstone room beside us. Oh, excuse me, had a hiccup. Capstone room is used for final year in programs like instrumentation and control technician. They might use that, but it's ultimately a big giant workspace that we can use for all sorts of different things because the projects change each and every year. Big idea factory. Okay, so some cooler lab spaces down here. Oh, there's a teacher in there. I didn't want to. We got windows. We don't need to bother that person. We have our electronics lab. So we use this for power distribution and control technician, most likely instrumentation control engineering technology. This is where we can investigate, prototype, make different types of electronics. You can see some breadboards up there with all sorts of different controls. You can see some oscilloscopes and all sorts of different machinery that we might use to make circuitry that could potentially control a big giant piece of machine. Because that's what instrumentation control engineering technology is all about. Parts of it, at least. And then this is our distillation tower operating room, or boiler lab. I forget what they call it now. Elevator room. That's not right. This is the distillation lab. That's it. So I couldn't remember if they changed the name or not. I don't know why they thought they did. But for our chemical production power engineering program, a lot of that program is focused on a certain facet of industry, especially locally in the chemical refinery industry, about being a process operator, controlling aspects of the plant. One of the things that you might have to control is a distillation tower, and that's exactly what we have straight ahead of us there. It goes up by another 20 feet or so, but that unit is a miniaturized, still large, but miniaturized version of the same thing that you're going to find in our local industry that's producing chemicals and making different materials that are used for chemical production. So really cool to see in action. It's made of compounds bubbling away. You can see the sieves pulling out different types of compounds and materials and products. Really neat to see in action. And our students learn to control it all. Okay, so this is our robotics lab. Robots meet stream meet robots. These are industry standard FANUC robots. You can see the name there, FANUC. That's the largest robotics manufacturer in the world. We have a whole fleet of these. So if you want to get ahead of the robotics industry, you want to look at programs like our instrumentation control engineering technology program, where you learn to maintain and run and program industry robots. Or you want to look at mill rate mechanical technician, where you learn to install, maintain, and repair industry robots like these FANUC robots here. And actually, inside of mill rate mechanical technician, you will get a special certification from one of our instructors who's certified by FANUC, saying that you know the maintenance, installation, and repair of FANUC robots, the largest robotics manufacturer in the entire world, which looks really good on your resume. So mill rate mechanical technician learns to install, maintain, and repair. Instrumentation students learn to program and run those robots that are right there. I should mention, I absolutely, because I can't, after walking through this building, that we are Ontario's top research school. Out of all the colleges in the entire province, there's 26 of us. All 26 of us are competing for that #1 spot. We all want to be the #1 research school. It's a massive priority. It's a huge source for opportunity for our students, for opportunity to change the world by creating products and services and processes that the world has never seen before, making it more eco-friendly or safer, whatever it might be. It's also a source for funding for our students to make money. We pay our student researchers quite well to conduct research on campus, and a lot of that takes place in this building. We are the top research school in the entire province. We are #2 in Canada. We've been a top 3 research school for the past 5 years. But what that means for you as a student is we hire students to conduct that research on campus. You might get employed for 1, 3, 5 years inventing something. We've done work for the RCMP where we came up with a better, less lethal bullet. Work for the RCMP where we came up with a better, less lethal bullet because they weren't happy with the one that they were using. So they hired our school to conduct the research to invent that. We just won NFL, National Football League, their most innovative product for 2019 for a helmet we produced that reduces concussions in young people playing high contact sports. So there was all sorts of different projects. You can actually go to our website right now, lambtoncollege.ca, find our research tab, view all the different projects that our students are researching. Some of them are way above my head. Couldn't begin to understand, but I know that they're important because otherwise we wouldn't have students researching those different types of things. But a lot of that takes place in this building. These lab spaces are pretty cool to see in action. So, okay, we're on the first floor of the college now, still in the Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technologies wing. This is home to more chemical production power engineering lab spaces in this hallway here. We have process flow control labs, valve calibration labs, all the different things that you're going to need to know about when you are in chemical or technology. Once I come back. I can hear you, so that's usually a good sign. Okay, there we go. Good stuff. So once again, Center of Excellence in Energy and Bioindustrial Technology. Some of these names start to pile up on each other. Don't mean much after I say them 200 times. But this space here is really cool. Right behind me is our boiler lab, where we produce power for this wing of the school. I could probably get in there too. I don't think there's anybody in there right now. Hello. Good stuff. Okay. So these boiler units are used in our power engineering technology program, our chemical production power engineering technology program, our mill rate mechanical technician programs. These boilers produce power for this wing of the school. They're TSSA certified, so we offer steam time reduction right on campus on 2 TSSA certified boilers that are producing power. That's a huge feat for us to achieve. We're one of the only schools you can get a second-class power engineer certificate through a power engineering program, or power engineering technology program, I should say. And that's because of this amazing space where we have 2 TSSA certified boilers that produce power. Right inside here is our environmental water wastewater systems operations program. If you want to become a water operator, a water treatment operator, water distribution operator, someone who helps make clean water for cities, this is the program you should be looking at. It's 2 years long. It's a diploma program with a co-op opportunity, and we have a water treatment facility right on campus, which is what you're looking at right now, where we can produce clean water. We are in a spot in Canada where we're lucky enough to be able to turn on our taps and get clean drinking water, and it's because of spaces like water treatment operators that learn how to do that kind of stuff. Right there. We're just walking past the instrumentation lab, one of them there. where our instrumentation students learn instrumentation things. No, that's a valve lab where they learn to take apart, control, measure, and analyze different valves. This is our advanced materials test lab. This is one of those research labs. We are the top research college in all of Ontario. Amazing opportunity for our students to get hired and attend the top research college in the entire province and the second top research college in the entire country. And then this is a computer lab space that's used in chemical production, power engineering technology, where students learn to operate plants. Those computers have the same operating system on them that Nova Chemicals does, Imperial Oil, Shell Canada, these multi-billion-dollar plants. We have the same software, so we can learn how to run them. Looking at our courtyard there, we do a lot of events in the spring and in the fall. One of my favorite ones is our annual car smash. We bring in 2 cars, I think it was a truck and a car last year, in, I believe it was that parking lot. One of them not too far from us. And we dropped off sledgehammers, baseball bats, and fire axes next to the cars and just let students go to town. Smash the car to pieces, get some stress off your plate by smashing a window in or trying to cut a steering wheel in half. We do the same thing in the winter semester, but with paint. We drop off cars and spray paint and rollers and all that kind of stuff, and you can paint the car as much as you like. It's a way to de-stress. We bring in dogs around exam times from Blue Cross. Their animals will come through, super friendly, and just hang out with dogs for a little bit. You might be studying in one of the nooks. You might have like a golden retriever walk past you. You know, you can, once I come back here, you can grab that golden retriever. You guys, do whatever you want with the dog. Pet it, love on it, whatever you need to do. Way to de-stress. Accessibility center, right here. Good spot to know about. If you have any learning needs the school should know about, physical needs, medications that have worked for you in the past. Maybe you had an IEP from high school. The Accessibility Center are the people that will help you navigate all the different accommodations we have on campus, whether it's learning, physical, medical, whatever it might be. So the start a conversation with them at any point before you apply, after you apply, while you're a student. Let's say you're in your program and you're just finding your test environment's too noisy. You can't concentrate. There's too many people around you, too many distractions. Well, they might be able to meet with you, help figure out what's going on, and maybe set you up with a private place to write your test. So accessibility, open to students to have a conversation at whenever you like, well before classes start, after classes start, anything you need there. Comes to accommodations. Okay, really important hub of the school here. We have our registrar's office, financial aid office right behind us. Every single student at Lambton interacts with this office at some point, because after you apply, these are the people that receive your application, complete your admissions, send you your offers, do your course registration. They also help you with financial aid, OSAP scholarships, bursaries, on-campus employment. All this really important stuff all takes place in that office. We have what are called enrollment services professionals. They are your one-stop shop for everything related to the office of the registrar and the financial aid office. So let's say you had a question about OSAP. You're going to email the person that actually sent you your congratulations email. Okay, so maybe I'll back it up a little bit. Maybe you applied to welding. Congrats, you've applied. You've gotten an offer. The person that said, hey, congratulations on your offer, in this case, it's Phil Babby for welding. He looks after the welding program. He's going to help you with your OSAP application. He's going to help you with scholarships and bursaries and course registration and graduation and admissions and all that kind of good stuff. It's your one-stop shop, and that way you never feel like a number. If you had a question about OSAP and you're at any other school in the province or in the country, most likely for that matter, you would go to the financial aid office. You're going to take a ticket. You're going to talk to somebody who gets your ticket assigned to them. You might talk to 10 different people across 10 different days, because that ticket is random. It gets applied to someone who you might not have a relationship with. At Lambton, you talk to your enrollment services professional each and every time, and it makes it easier to ask for help when you know who you're talking to, and you can develop a relationship with them. That's the whole idea. This is the IT service desk, another really important stop. When you are a student at Lambton, you get a ton of different resources and logins. You get an email account, you get access to D2L, My Lambton, Web Advisor, all these different things that are used to help you learn and to help you access the information you need. If you can't access any of that, or it seems broken or something's off, those are the people that can help you. IT service desk open for you to. Ironic. Okay. They do repair college devices. They don't repair personal devices, but you can still check in with them. They might be able to point you in the right direction, or at least help you out as best as they can. Just walking past our library, or the Learning Commons, I should call it. Lots of different resources inside here. I don't know how many computers we have installed in that lab space, but it's by far our biggest lab space, computer lab on campus. I studied here for 3 years in business. I did not bring a computer to school once because there's so many in this room alone, let alone the other lab spaces we have on campus. There's the front desk. The front desk will rent out laptops, iPads, audiovisual equipment. They also have some textbooks they can hook you up with for use inside the library only. Tons of computers. All the computers talk to each other. So if you start your homework here and run across the campus, you can pull up your homework in the exact same spot. And you probably can't see, but right across from you right now, you might see a blue label or a blue banner that says tutoring services. We offer free tutoring to our students. We're one of the only colleges that does that. You get up to 10 hours per semester, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on what you need. But if you want a tutor, talk to the tutoring center and they can hook you up with a free tutor. Or if you're doing well in your program and you want to make some money in between classes, talk to the tutoring desk because they might hire you as a tutor. Great way to make some money or help students or get help that you need. Counseling. This is our Counseling and Wellness Center. It is home to our counselors, academic and personal counselors. We have a team of certified psychotherapist counselors on campus ready to help you out with whatever it is you need, whether it's academic related, personal life related, mental health related, whatever it might be. We have a whole team of people here to make sure that you have a safe place to go and a counselor to talk to when it comes to those types of things. We also have a registered nurse on duty 5 days a week. We have a doctor here once a week for appointments. We do specialty appointments once a month, like physiotherapy. Maybe a psychiatrist might come in once a month for appointments. But mental health, academic health, physical health, this is your spot to go. Counseling and wellness. All right. We are pretty well done. See the back of the library. Okay. I don't know why it's cutting. It usually doesn't cut out here. It usually doesn't. Backside of the library, you can see these cubicles. You can rent out these cubicles. So if you want your own office space, you can rent them out from the front desk of the library. They will hook you up with that as much as you need. They got a computer. They got lots of seating space. You can practice presentations, all that kind of good stuff. It's called. So if you're getting picked up, probably we have one of our student lounges here. This is a seating space, study space. I kind of like this spot because it's carpeted, so it's a little bit less noisy, a little bit less echoey than some of the other spaces on campus. So it's really popular for students to hang out in. And then right behind that red pillar, we won't go down there, but our Indigenous Student Center is right behind that red pillar. So if you identify as Indigenous, or if you don't, and you want to take part in their academic supports, cultural supports, events, that's the spot where you can do all that. Pop your head into the Indigenous support you're looking for, take part in events, cultural supports, academic supports. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're coming back. We are getting a brand new Indigenous Student Center at some point in the near future. We're probably going to break ground on that in the next year. I'm being just not student lounge. Okay. Good stuff. One final cutout and we're back. Okay, so that's the tour. Right now, I just entered back into the athletics and fitness complex. We were up there, I don't know, 40 minutes ago, half an hour ago, right in that door. If I can get my left and my, there we go. Nope. There it is, right inside that door. That's the fitness center. We were just up there not too long ago. When we saw the fitness center, and then we saw the secondary fitness center above us. We talked about that secondary gym space, which is right to my left-hand side here. That's what's inside this building. But this is where we're going to end the tour. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you enjoyed that. Your questions were fantastic. I'm really glad that you guys were able to join. If you want to apply and you have not yet, we will pay for your application. $95 to apply. It's not cheap. But if you talk to me or talk to another enrollment advisor through our live chat service, through our emails like info@lambtoncollege.ca, through the text message service that we sent you this text for to join today, let us know that you want to apply and we will cover your $95 application fee. On January 12th, starting at 4 p.m., we have our next application session. So you can come join us in a Teams meeting. We'll chat, we'll talk about your programs, we'll answer questions more on a one-on-one basis than we can do in this YouTube format. YouTube format, not YouTube's, not my grandma. And we can do an application at application night, January 12th, starting at 4 p.m. Email us, I don't know why I said email twice. Talk to us on live chat. We have live chat on our website, any one of our program web pages at lambtoncollege.ca from 9 to 3 p.m., 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can pop up on lambtoncollege.ca, open a live chat box, and that goes right to myself, right to Justine, who's on the other end of this camera, right to Adam, who's not here today. And we are there to answer your questions, help you with applications, do whatever we can to make this as easy as a process for you as can to learn about our college, start attending classes here, and hopefully you make the choice to do so. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to do another one of these next Tuesday at 2 p.m. A different space. Might be the fire school, might be the residence center. We haven't decided yet, but stay tuned to your phone because we're going to let you know what it is. And hopefully you can join us then. And if not, we'll see you in September. All right. Bye, everybody.